Okay, let's get into this. No more wasted time. It's time, everybody. Place your bets now.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Death Battle.
I forgot they had a board game. You doing the animation previews at the start of these now? Alright, fair enough. Just a thing with you. How's the audio sound?
Devourer of Worlds.
And Unicron, almighty chaos bringer. That's right, it's the day we've all been waiting for.
The most requested matchup in the show's history, man.
Analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
A decade in the making.
Boomstick, what is the nature of evil?
Oh,
Every time I see this thing, I keep thinking it's Venture Brothers.
Kind of question, Wiz.
No, seriously, is the wolf that hunts the hare evil? What about the bear that kills the wolf? Or the man
Need
that
bunny
slays
wife.
the bear? Is that evil or nature? Perhaps this question was on Gallon of Ta's mind as he hurtled toward the end of infinity.
Sir, I work on the internet, I can't answer these things.
How do I turn this goddamn space
Rooster Teeth owns
around?
Death Battle now?
Eons ago,
Much
the
to my
planet
chagrin,
was a
yes.
paradise, the most
They have for a
advanced
while
civilization
now,
the
haven't
universe
they?
had ever known.
Too bad the universe
20
was coming to an end.
Before
I hate it
14,
when
I
that
think?
happens.
The Ta'an scientist Gallon watched as the rest of his race ignominiously perished and decided to die
Welcome, bro.
gloriously on his own terms.
Quick save was
By
Frey,
flying
right?
a ship into the sun,
I think.
Just like great-grandpappy Boomstick, the
Gonna be out of business within the next 16 months, 100%. God, we can only hope.
Grandpappy Boomstick, Gallon got bitten by a
I miss Screw
radioactive
Attack.
dog.
We all
As the
do.
last living thing left before the universe's end, Gallon was visited by the sentience of the multiverse, who merged with him as part of a cosmic cycle of death and rebirth. As the old multiverse died, a new one was born, and the scientist Gallon was
most
no
okay
more.
boss
In
in
his
Marvel
place
vs.
was a
Capcom
being of
history.
Untold power, the Ravager of Galaxies, Galactus.
Yes!
Well, despite looking like a masochist giant purple vibrator, G-Dog here is one of the
That scene
strongest
was from
beings
Venture
in
Brothers.
all of Marvel,
Oh.
baby. And there's only one thing he
Okay,
wants to
I'm a
do.
dumbass.
Eat friggin' worlds.
Galactus is so unbelievably, mind-meltingly powerful that strong doesn't really begin to describe.
Remember that time the Marvel
Just
zombies
being
ate Galactus and
near
then
him
gained the
begin to
Cower
grow
Cosmic and then
perception
ate the
of
entire
reality.
universe?
In truth, he isn't even really a physical being with
And
a
then the
soul,
Watcher, like,
but composed
trapped
of
that entire
energy
universe in,
itself,
like, a time
the
loop.
power cosmic.
Basically,
The Watcher's
you're all-purpose
cool.
space god magic that no good almighty
I don't have that
ass
set up
fucking
on
god
this
can
screen,
go
Matt.
without.
Oh,
Sure,
oh
you
wait, no,
can
I do.
use it to blast your ass to unholy smithereens, but
just
it's
have to
a lot
move
more
it.
flexible too.
Described as being in touch with every other living thing at once, the power
Yeah,
cosmic
kinda weird
allows
about
one
that.
access to a near infinite pool of knowledge and the ability to sense danger ahead of time.
I don't think there's a lot
Only
for him to
partially
be afraid
psychic, I
of.
think,
He
isn't he?
can manipulate matter, read and control the minds of gods, and teleport entire galaxies across the universe.
The power
He's one
cosmic
OP
allows
son of a
him
bitch, isn't he?
fundamental control over life itself, manipulating souls, creating new life forms from nothing, and even resurrecting the dead. And because his body is composed of energy, he can't really be hurt in the traditional physical sense. This
sort
allows
of.
him to
He'll
grow
Reed
or
Richards
shrink
build
his
a
body
stupid
with
machine that lets it
seemingly no
happen.
limit, and alter his appearance.
Wait. He chooses to look like that?
His physical appearance matches the species observing him, so a human sees a human Galactus.
Ghost
a
Rider
small
defeats them
Skrull
both with a
Galactus, and
penance
so
stare.
Oh, so it's just like how I see
Didn't the
world.
penance stare explicitly not
What are
work
you
on
staring
Thanos
at?
because he gets
What
off on the
matters
pain?
most to me in the world. Awesome.
No, not awesome. Very not awesome. At least as far as Galactus is concerned, since witnessing his approach is itself the end of the world.
Yeah,
You only have enough
he's a
time
pretty
to
big
pray
boy,
to
he
the
is.
three gods before Galactus consumed your entire planet, absorbing its energy into himself, then moving on to his next meal.
Man, I guess his
Hmm.
costume is appropriate because he sounds like a total dick. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
You
kind
let
of.
Your whole planet die. Now you're gonna go around the universe doing the same thing?
Marvel
It's
4
not
never
entirely
ever.
his fault. Galactus' power is so immense that the only thing that can sustain him is the consumption of entire worlds. Without this constant feeding, he would perish, just as humans would without consuming plants or other animals.
Kinda like how I
And then
hate squirrels
technically
'cause
there
I
wouldn't
hate
be a
each and
universe
every
after that.
one of them.
No, categorically the exact opposite, actually. Galactus isn't vengeful or cruel. If he could avoid any unnecessary death, he would. But just as the universe is bound
Not the
by
way
the
of things,
laws
unfortunately.
physics, Galactus is bound by his hunger.
And that hunger has put him in conflict
Fuck
with some
you,
of
ego!
Marvel's other heaviest hitters, like Odin and the Phoenix Force. Galactus' fight with the other and the Scryer got so intense.
He
they
also
threatened
fought
the
Mephisto,
entire
didn't
infinite
In his
multiverse
own
just
realm,
as
if I'm
a
not
side
mistaken.
effect of the battle.
While Galactus himself can comfortably cross countless light years in
Hey, what they did to
seconds,
Galactus
some
in
of
Rise
these
of the
beings are
Silver
more like
Surfer.
abstract concepts than
Oh,
actual
that's a
living
memory
things,
unlocked.
many of which operate outside of linear time.
He was just like a
Like this
floating
alien
cloud,
dude
wasn't he?
Tried to use Galactus's energy to destroy 2 whole universes. Even after being
Welcome,
drained by
laddies.
him, he still nuked 3
I
whole
can't
star
believe Snek
systems
is missing
before
this.
getting
He's
a
the one that
snack.
kept asking
Should
for
he
it.
somehow be threatened by beings beyond even the scope of his power, Galactus crafted a device to solve all of his problems. The ultimate nullifier.
In case that name isn't obvious enough, it's a teeny tiny weapon that destroys anyone you think of.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
just
a pretty good
destroy
one.
them, it destroys everything. The entire multiverse is eradicated.
Didn't they do the same thing for the Green Lantern movie?
Without the target. An extremely roundabout way of winning, but it works.
I don't remember a
That's
single thing
exactly
about
what
that
happened
movie, I'll
when
be
Galactus
honest.
used it on the
Not even a
god
little.
of destruction, Abraxas.
He destroyed the god of destroying things with a Happy Meal toy. It's like my therapist said. Great things come in small packages.
And the nullifier was key to Galactus' first great defeat upon his inevitable arrival on Earth.
When that pesky Reed Richards managed to get his
Smartest
switchy
man
hands
in the
on
universe.
thing, Galactus finally backed down and spared the planet.
Which makes no practical sense. The ultimate nullifier is a part of Galactus himself. It
Yes.
uses his own power. He can summon it at any time and even escape its effects by hiding in a pocket dimension. It even
Yes.
has the safety on.
Maybe he was just bored.
After billions of years of cosmic genocide
Entirely
just to
probable.
survive, I'm pretty sure Galen forgot what it meant to be mortal. Perhaps that was the true evil all along. The slow death of Galen's humanity. Because what could be more terrifying than a being that sees everything and everyone you know and love as nothing more than his next meal? This
Pretty
episode of
rough.
Death Battle is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Wiz, it's getting to be the holiday season.
I don't
again.
trust
just
any
know
of these,
Mama
like,
Broomstick is finally
send
gonna
you
be the new
food
dune buggy I've been
company
drooling
things.
over. What's gonna be stuffed in your stocking?
Something bad's
A
gonna go
couple
wrong in that
undiscovered
transport,
elements
bro.
would be nice, but
Something bad
holidays
gonna
are
go
also
down.
about giving gifts to yourself.
Maybe that means giving yourself a break during this busy month, or treating yourself when you have the time.
And in anticipation of a new year,
Get the neck
sometimes
kinks
that
out
means
while I can.
therapy.
At least I'm not
Therapy
being
can be
interrupted
super
by
helpful
ads this
year-round,
time. We'll see how long that
especially
lasts.
During this season. The holiday
They have their
blues are
own
no
for this.
joke.
If you're thinking about starting
I still feel
therapy,
very
consider
sick.
giving BetterHelp a
Take some
try.
Pepto.
What's great is that it's totally online.
Keep
so it's super
Pepto on you at
flexible
all
with your
times.
schedule and convenient.
All you have to do
It's
is
the
fill out a
only
brief
way you can
questionnaire
know.
and get matched with a licensed therapist.
And
BetterHelp
if
was
it isn't
exposed for
perfect
being a
match,
massive
switch
scam a few
therapists
years ago.
anytime,
Oh,
no
good.
additional charge.
My paranoia is always
Visit
correct.
BetterHelp.com/deathbattle today to get 10% off
Like when
your
people
first
tell me
month.
they care about me and I
That's
don't believe them.
BetterHelp, HELP.com/deathbattle.
Alright,
In
what
the
you got?
beginning, before heaven and earth, before light and dark, there was Unicron, created by the formless
Damn right
primordial
there
being
was.
known as the One to explore the fledgling multiverse. Unicron instead decided to consume
Was busy?
everything.
Oh,
No,
welcome.
Come on, bad
You're just in
Unicron.
time for your
Bad
boy.
God, bad.
The One decided to split Unicron into two beings, one of order and hope known as Primus, and the other of chaos and evil known as Unicron. Again,
Like all good sibling rivalries,
Where did that work
they
out, huh?
pushed each other's shit in over the fate of all existence. That is, until the goody little two-shoes Primus tricked his bro into imprisoning their souls in giant asteroids.
What a
Classic
troll.
sibling prank. For me, it was the dryer.
Primus terraformed
Makes sense
his
why Rooster Teeth's
asteroid
still
into what would
sponsored
later
by
be
them.
known as the planet Cybertron, while Unicron did something different.
Good burn.
Yeah, he turned his planet into
Fucking
a planet
hell.
that eats other
I'll give it back
planets.
to you in a minute.
Not only that, it can change its form
Hang
into
on.
a giant badass robot.
Ay,
suit.
ay,
He's
ay,
literally
ay.
the
How do we do
first
that?
Transformer.
And with this new
Ay,
body, Unicron would
ay,
travel the
ay,
cosmos,
ay, ay,
consuming
ay.
planet after planet.
It says you still
universe
are on my
after
end.
Universe. Not necessarily because of any hunger or need, but because Unicron is the
How do
physical
I-
embodiment of
how do I
death
have to do
and
that from a separate
destruction.
thing, don't I?
He is literally programmed
think I do.
to destroy
Okay,
everything.
fine, I'll do it again after the
God's
stream.
gotta do what a god's gotta do.
Ah.
And good luck trying to fight back. Uni's robot body comes with a tractor beam, eye lasers, fire breath, a chest cannon,
The
and
follow
an
rope is the
antibody
best
system in
part,
case anyone
man.
tries to pull a Drax on him.
Unicron can mentally dominate an entire race of beings, erase things from existence, warp the fabric of space and time, and even manipulate matter itself.
So even if his big robot body
They both
is damaged
technically
or
have an
destroyed,
auto-win
he can
condition,
repair it lickety
so those
split,
should
or even
cancel
send
each
his
other
spark
out?
to find a new host.
Essentially, the Transformers version.
Allegedly,
of
the
Soul,
fight is on the
Unicron's
lower end of
spark
the
is
quality.
immensely powerful. and produces its
People
own
said the same
energy
thing about
source,
Darkseid
Energon.
Thanos a few years
Unicron
ago, and I
is so
generally
evil
like that
he
fight
can
quite a
literally
bit.
turn his
I
bad dude
guess we'll see.
energy into weapons of mass destruction, like unholy blades or planet-busting lasers.
This dark energon will corrupt any that consumes it, turning them into a puppet of Unicron himself.
It's also obviously
A
the
herald, if
opposite
you
of
will.
regular energon, which is created by Primus and what fuels the Transformer race. So Unicron basically runs on the opposite
Armada,
of life.
my
If
beloved.
he's death as a big robot, can he even be killed?
Not by any conventional means. Even the destruction of his spark isn't guaranteed to end him. He will continue to exist as a necessary force that drives the cosmos.
Do not expect Death Battle to
Anytime
do
he's destroyed,
IDW
he will
Transformers
appear again
justice.
in a new
Few things can.
universe. In fact, almost every Unicron you've seen in movies, TV, and comics are the same
Yeah.
Unicron is a literal force of nature. You can't reason
He's
with
a bad
hurricane that
motherfucker, he
hits you.
is.
All you can do is see it and get the hell out of the way. But this hurricane is never gonna stop until you and everyone you know is DED dead.
They never really
His
did enough
presence drove
inner
an
series
entire
crossover,
planet
did they?
insane.
I was trying to be poetic before, but this is what evil is. Incomprehensible, undeniable, inescapable. You can't even wait him out. He is unbound by the concept of linear time.
The Chaos
course he is, he's a
Bringer
robot.
so powerful, his mere presence wrecks the space-time continuum and can erase galaxies from existence just by strolling
Ugh.
away.
To be clear, it isn't the force he's generating by moving that destroys things. It's his
Was that Twerk Core?
existence. His
It's
mere
entirely
being is
possible,
so
yes.
overwhelmingly evil that the fabric of space-time cannot fathom Unicron's presence.
Ugh.
Dude, no wonder he was able to devour nearly a quarter of the entire multiverse, one universe at a time.
Estimates for the
They're really
size of the
gassing up
Transformers
Unicron. This
multiverse
does not
vary
bode well
from
for
over
my
15
guy.
quadrillion universes to an infinite number of universes, branching timelines.
You gotta
and
have
planes
hope,
of
man.
existence. And who better to portray a being who brings death to the universe than the man who gave birth to
Orson
modern
Welles.
cinema, a final role fitting for an artist so much larger than life. Or
He was
deeply
also
ironic
wasted
that
and
it's a
hated it.
feature-length toy commercial.
The Transformers movie has always been celebrated for its excellence. I say,
There's a lot of
Despite
shit
that
to read.
unbelievable power, the Chaos Bringer's almighty rampage through reality has been halted a number of times, usually due to the matrix of leadership, the essence of Primus himself, and the embodiment of all hope and life.
Heroism at its finest,
are you
boys.
telling me that Robo-Satan was defeated by the power of friendship? Forget fear. I'm gonna need some of that shit going straight into the vein.
As the abstract idea of evil actualized, any notion of goodness is directly antithetical to his being.
As
Damn right it is.
incomprehensible to Unicron as he is to us.
Tank the
But
Big
despite the
Bang's a
best
pretty
efforts
good
of
one.
heroic Transformers like Optimus Prime, Unicron has always returned from the smoldering ashes of defeat and risen to threaten reality again.
It's his very nature.
Such as the time a united armada of Autobots, Decepticons, and an entire people created from his cells, the Minicons.
Chaotic
tried
Good
to destroy him
Starscream is
once
one of
and
my
for all.
favorites.
They actually
Pretty up there, to
succeeded
be
in
honest.
killing him, until Galvatron's hatred for Optimus brought Unicron back to life.
Because challenging Unicron means challenging evil itself, destroying destruction itself. An impossible paradox.
Starscream
You
goated.
can't kill
That's my
Unicron
boy
because
right there.
killing is literally
That's my
what
son.
Unicron is. So, what does that mean for us?
Every petty act of violence, every war, every cruelty, every death battle gives Unicron life. The life he
Your
needs to
hatred
kill us
fuels
all.
me.
We are culpable in our own annihilation.
Unicron's not just some comic book villain. He's all there is and all there will be. He was there at the beginning, and he'll be there at the end. He's a law of physics. He's as inevitable as your dying breath.
Jesus, now you got me scared.
Yeah, a little.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Death Battle.
Play the
Let's
game!
consider
Or don't,
right
I'm not
now.
your mom.
By popular demand, Death Battle the game is finally back and available for pre-order this December.
Ever wanted to live out your very own death battle with you as the
Thinking
combatant?
Galactus
Of
will
course you
probably
have.
take
Death Battle the
this?
game is a fast-paced head-to-head card and dice game where players, well,
Seems the
battle
most
to
likely
death.
scenario,
Are you
personally.
deadly enough to win
Ugh.
a death battle?
The first player to eliminate all of their
They had a
opponent's
game?
cards wins.
It's like a
will be
card
the
game,
last
board
one
game thing.
standing?
With 100 weapon, armor, and skill cards,
I
there
don't
are
know, man.
tons of options for character creation. Oh,
I'm not
and
giving
who could
Rooster Teeth
forget
my money for
50
anything.
custom
I'm not
dice.
testing the
If
waters
you know
on
someone
that.
who just can't get enough of the pulse-pounding battles between fiction's
I'm
deadliest
convinced this
characters
show is the
and
only reason
sometimes
Rooster
the
Teeth is still
silliest,
around.
This is the perfect gift.
Pre-order your copy of Death Battle the game this
It
December.
does so
and
much
begin the
better
year
than
with your favorite
everything
internet
else
show
they put
brought to
out.
life.
Go to store.roosterteeth.com.
It's
to
like
pre-order
night
your
and day,
copy
man.
Get ready, cause it's time for a death battle.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's
Assuming-
time for the death battle you've been asking for forever.
For a decade! Probably more than that at this point.
As all things must, your world has come to an end.
Aho!
Halt! This planet is
This is
mine
what we're
to
doing.
consume. So saith Galactus, destroyer of worlds.
Be gone, thus decrees.
This is some good voice acting.
Chaos bringer.
Be gone, thought! This is what I like to see! Animation quality is pretty damn high so far. Okay, there goes that.
So quick to beg for Oblivion's embrace.
These some big boys. I'd like to point out if Galactus wins this, that means canonically Albert Wesker is more powerful than Unicron. I just want to point that out to everyone. I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. Also means Akuma, more importantly. It always comes down to slugging, huh? Oh god, he has the thing. Not made of physical matter, though.
Power cosmic incarnate, not so easily felled.
What a boy.
Fleeing so readily, Unicron.
No devourer. Transforming.
Yeah, that is a thing you do, isn't it?
Beg not for mercy. Behold blackening sky.
I think Galactus can just make himself larger or smaller if the situation demands?
Die.
Galactus meets your challenge. Here's your call. This world will bring destruction to
Liking this, man.
And destruction pure.
People are saying the animation's not good this time around? It's pretty alright.
Last true immortality.
I have no patience left. Return
Jesus, man. I think they meant choreography. It was just choreography, and there's not a lot you can do with two giant motherfuckers in terms of, like, pacing.
You know not the power which you command.
You're both trying your one-hit condition, huh?
Your death I thus demand. Finally, I have won.
I've seen
Lee, old boy.
power, bringer of chaos. Yet by my vigor thou hast much need. Witness the last fate that awaits you thus. For almighty Galactus must now feed.
KO!
We know Galactus and Unicron were beings who could manipulate reality itself and do basically anything.
Older than the universe, unbound by
Neck
time, they
shattered
have
to
each other
pieces.
back in a lot of ways.
In
So it
agony.
ultimately came down to which of them was more powerful.
Both could threaten an entire infinite multiverse, but Unicron could only do so over time, devouring them one by one.
While Galactus' battle with the Scryer and the other threatened to destroy the entire Marvel multiverse as just a side effect.
Not to mention,
just a
Galactus
little.
tussles with cosmic beings like himself all the time.
While Unicron is usually the top dog in Transformers, he's a big fish in a relatively small pond. Relative
Yeah.
to Marvel, at least.
Depending.
That might sound better for Unicron at first, but it means he has way less experience than Galactus in full-on fights against dudes his size.
And while Unicron has used Dark Energon to infect and corrupt other beings in the past, Galactus technically doesn't
Surprised
have a
they did this in the
soul
same
since
season
his
they did
cosmic rebirth from Galactus.
Frieza
And he's
Megatron.
fended off mental attacks before, so there's no real reason to think that would work here.
And as lame as it is, the ultimate nullifier is just really
The auto-win condition is pretty bullshit.
Unicron being able to survive the destruction of his spark, the ultimate nullifier is...
This means Akuma is stronger than Galactus, by the way, which means he scales above Shao Kahn. Go fuck yourselves.
A being that embodied the abstract concept of the multiverse's destruction.
Sounds like somebody you know? Even
Hey.
against someone like that, the good old Oli Nully...
Similar reality working powers that it is weaker cannot resist ultimate nullifiers, and this is state of the Galactus harder to regenerate body.
Could always hide in that pocket dimension, just as he escaped the nullifier before.
Unicron was an insanely terrifying
I believe that's the
threat.
end of the season,
Galactus had
too.
Power, experience, and arsenal to ultimately annihilate him.
If you thought Galactus was going down in this fight, you were Unicron.
The winner is Galactus.
That was not bad. Okay. Season overall.
Season 10's done, but season 11 is on the way. Thanks so much for watching, and a special thanks
These are
to our
coming out
channel
faster
members
and
for being
faster as the
champions
years
this
go
year.
on, aren't
Get ready
they?
for more Death Battle in 2024.
Thank you, Ben. Very cool. Is it Gambit? Is it gonna be Gambit? I know. Yeah. They did the second vote around. They did the second voting. They did the second round of voting for which matchups everyone want to see. Apparently, Tom versus Wile E. Coyote won. I don't know what people are expecting. I don't know why this is a thing everyone wants to see. There were a number of things on that list of things you could vote for that I thought would be pretty nice to see. Spike versus Revy was up there. Godzilla versus Hulk was up there. There's some decent matchups there. Everyone wants to see the cat and the coyote. I digress. I saw Composite Ryu versus Composite Goku. If you gave Ryu everything he can do in Marvel plus the... Is it Muno Ken? It's Muno Ken, isn't it? That means they both technically just have Ultra Instinct, right? And if he can do a Raging Demon while... One Raging Demon would kill Goku. All it takes is one. That might be a little bit closer than I first thought. Okay, never mind. Enough of that, enough of that, enough of that, enough of that.